We should be live just as soon as the chat starts popping up because we have a big one here today. And I hope you are doing great wherever you are in the world. Hope things are looking up to you this weekend. But we got some big things to talk about. The first thing we're going to talk about is crypto mining has gotten so big now that people are buying laptops now just to mine on just to mine cryptocurrency. So this is the big breaking story we're going to talk about here today because it just seems like we never get a break. I mean, if you're a gamer and you're looking to get a GPU, it just looks like you don't get a break. So chat's starting to pop up. What's going on, guys? Welcome to this live stream session, the Tech Yes City live streams. We are joined by the Jar Jar mug. I know you guys have been loving this Jar Jar mug because you've been telling me. Like, I haven't heard anything bad about it either. People say they love it, then I don't hear anything bad. Actually, we had one guy, he said, you know, he was, last stream we were talking about the Intel CPUs and how they've gotten cheaper. And the guy was like, man, what universe am I in? Yeah, he's got a Jar Jar mug and he's starting to say Intel CPUs are pretty good again. How times change, fellas, how times change. So what we got now? Okay, so we'll talk with chat. Citizens Tech Talk. I'll have to go back through my email. I get spammed emails. So unless they've got like an exclamation mark beside them, I generally I just breeze through them all because there's just so much like going on at the moment with YouTubes and stuff like that. But let's just chat today, and we've got the first story. We're going to get onto this first breaking story here, which is, it's like, look, I'm going to say straight away, I don't really, at the moment, I went into cryptocurrency. I went into it. I got into it big time. I really wasn't that impressed with crypto. And I mean, you got to believe in, if you invest in things, you got to believe in it, right? So like, I believe in gaming PCs and stuff, so I invest in gaming PCs. Now, crypto is one of those things, if you believe in it, sure, go invest in it. But me personally, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't really believe in it yet. I mean, I know it's got good merits, but at the moment, it looks like it's just way more of a speculative investment than anything. It looks like people are just buying it to make money. And when we look at some of the trends going through, you know, like I see XRP especially, like there's this one called XRP and people are like, man, the banks are going to be using this cryptocurrency, XRP. We'll move on to this story first, right? But we'll get onto this story. We'll just do a bit of a discussion here about crypto itself. There's this big one called XRP, Ripple. And people are like, damn, you know, this one's huge. The banks are going to adopt this thing. It's going to be crazy. And then I started researching, what are the banks actually going to adopt, right? Like, what are the banks going to use with cryptocurrency? Because the merits are there with crypto, right? The merits are there. It's going to be quick, efficient, worldwide transactions are going to be really good, really cheap to do. So there's definitely merit there. But then I look at, like, I start searching all the big banks and cryptocurrency. And then I find out, like, apparently, like, is it JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs or something like that? They're all together now. They're making their own cryptocurrency and it's privatized. So they're going to be making their own cryptocurrency. It's going to be privatized. No retail investors will be able to invest in it. So the big banks are going to be using XRP. I don't know. So at the moment, though, people are just speculating like crazy. I think even Dogecoin, like this cryptocurrency that I think the developers abandoned it, I think. And that one's still just like going to the moon. And it's just like, yeah. Anyway, crypto. Let's talk about it right now. Ethereum mining. So Ethereum mining is the big one now. That is the most profitable. We'll pull up the profitability chart because even if you've got 10, 30, 60 TIs, you can get $60 a day, $60 US a day if you've got a 10 cent kilowatt hour price. So I'd say like 10 cents kilowatt hour US is kind of cheap. It's a little bit cheaper on the cheaper side, but still it's obtainable by a lot of people, especially in the US. So this is why people are buying up these graphics cards, because if you've got 10, 30, 60 Ti's, you're making 60 US a day. So, I mean, look, the money's there, the crazy money's there. That's why people are doing it and they're buying it all up. This is how the economy works. But now we've got the laptops, right? So once you can't buy a GPU and once GPU prices have gone up double their MSRPs, people are like, okay, well, what else can I do to get something now that'll still retain its value? Because if the whole cryptocurrency market crashes, right, this is the thing. If the whole cryptocurrency market just crashes, falls flat out down, people are then going to be selling those graphics cards, whether it's in a gaming PC or whether it's back to the market. Now, if you're paying double MSRP and things crash, then suddenly you've got to get your money back. So you're going to be selling it cheaper. So that's why people are looking at MSRPs of laptops. Because if you invest in a laptop at $1,000 and it's worth $1,000, then when you go to resell it, if things go belly up, that's their risk-free sort of side of the purchase. But going deep into this one, this is crazy because someone in China, they went to a Starbucks cafe and then started mining on this RTX 3060 gaming laptop. And they're mining on it for 2 hours and they made $1 in 2 hours. And they used the Starbucks cafe, they used their power. So they just used it, they're like, hey, thanks for the free power. And they were able to pay for a coffee with their laptop. So, I mean, I'm waiting until, so we got people in the chat as well, like, someone bought 100 million worth of Ethereum. Damn. What was like, I'd love to know the fees on that too. We'll get onto the fees with Ethereum as well, because a lot of people are telling me the fees are ridiculous. So they go to trade some crypto and they go to buy and sell and they're getting hit like over 1%. And that's why crypto itself is just, at the moment, if you're making money in crypto, it's lucrative for everybody. So like, I think the people buying it and selling it, the brokers, they're just cleaning up. And so at the moment, like the whole thing's, I don't get where all this money, well, actually I do kind of know where all this money's coming from. Governments with the money printer, and that's, you know how that one goes. That one's going, it's going out of control. But we got back this laptop story here, right? This one's interesting because I'm waiting for the day where someone just brings in 10 laptops. Like, bringing in a laptop casually into Starbucks, you can get away with that. No one's going to look at you. They're like, okay, he's just bringing in his laptop. He's just using it. Or he or she just using their laptop. In this case, it was a she, I think. She was using a laptop. But what if you got the guy who comes in and they bring like 10 laptops? Dump just into Starbucks, start, hogging up all the wallpaper and being like, yo, I'm a customer. I'm waiting for that vlog. If someone can get that done, that'll be good lols. Just use up all Starbucks power while you're mining. So there's the thing. It is profitable right now. As we saw with this graph, like we'll go back to this graph here. It is profitable to mine crypto and it's very profitable. And 3060 Ti, I mean, look, a laptop's not going to mine as much as that, but it's apparently getting 46 mega hashes or something like that. So they're telling us now with a 3060 Ti, Eth hash, you can get maybe 58 on a 3060 Ti, if I do my math correctly, as opposed to 46. So you could be making, with 10 laptops, you could be making $45 a day. So your investment would pay for itself in maybe 190 days, if I'm doing my math on the fly correctly. So you get 10 laptops, they've paid for themselves in 190 days. And I mean, look, as much as I don't like mining and the fact that it's pushing people out of gaming PCs, there are people out there who want to make money. And if there's an opportunity for arbitrage, essentially this is like almost like arbitrage, where it's free money, ridiculous returns on investment. So it's like, of course people are going to do it. I just don't really agree with it. I don't see like a whole lot of merit in crypto just yet, because I'm waiting to see what's actually going to be mass adopted as opposed to speculative. Anyhow, that's the breaking news there with that one, because now that all the RTX 3060s have been juiced out, now that we've got all the RTX 3060s and they're gone, they're long gone. Not 3060 Ti's. 3060s, the desktop versions, at least from my knowledge, they're not out yet. So all the GPUs are just getting snapped up and then it's spanning on now. It's moving over to the laptops. When is this going to stop? And if we look at the price of Ethereum, this thing's going to this thing has been going to the moon. Like, where's all this money coming from? That's what I want to know. And like, because I've been following, like, low key, I do follow the markets and I do follow investments quite closely. And this kind of this kind of speculation is absolutely insane. There's all this extra buffer here. So like, are people just like, where's all this money coming from? Because I've noticed with the gaming PC market lately, oh, sorry, we'll get back to the screen here. Like, this is where Ethereum is right now, at like $1,600 US, up from $120 in March 2020, where even before that, it kind of, when the market was pretty healthy, it was only $220. So you see here, just this massive wave of influx of money has just come into this stuff, into crypto. I got no idea. Like, that amount of speculation and investment is insane in any asset. So do be careful. If you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, I'm going to say to you guys, do be very careful how you tread with this one. And if you're buying the hardware, look, if you're buying it around MSRP, there's not a whole lot to worry about. That's why GPU mining, it's inefficient. This is what I've said in previous videos. I've said with GPU mining, it's inefficient because there's ASIC miners out there. But now because of the ASIC resistant nature of Ethereum, people are going to use graphics cards for mining. So that sort of plays into it all, where you've got this whole situation where people are buying up all the gaming components. I just wish they would drop the ASIC resistance of Ethereum, and then we'd see a lot of relief for these gaming graphics cards. Because once you get the ASICs in there, once they start mining so much with much more efficiency, they just essentially make it not worth it to mine on a graphics card anymore. I think the rates, I think an ASIC per watt, like off the top of my head, I forgot how much it was, but I think it's like 50 to 1 or something like that. It's ridiculous. So that means like 50 GPUs with their power could only mine what one ASIC miner could do with that Ethereum miner. So like that's why I'm all for ASIC miners. But the problem with ASIC miners, and I've explained this in the past, the problem with ASIC miners is that they don't have a lot of resale value. Once they're gone and they're out of date and they're no longer profitable, it's hard to get rid of them. So I think there's like this whole, like, we could go down the conspiracy avenue here. We could go down conspiracy lane, but I just think there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. Why are these their whole argument was, okay, we've got the cryptocurrencies here because we want to get the average guy. We want to get the average guy into cryptocurrency. And it's like, man, the institutions are buying up all these GPUs anyway. All the big investors are buying up all the graphics cards. They're even getting them before they hit the retailers. They're like going in the channels and going, yep, we want 100 or 10,000 GPUs. We're going to buy them up before. But we'll quickly move on to chat for you guys, because we got another breaking story that's in the works. Okay, so because one thing about this whole gig at Tech Yes City is I like getting the word on the street, right? The fresh word. So we'll go to comments quickly, and it's like, hey Brian, question: what should be the value for a used 1066 gigabyte before the pandemic, like cheap? So I mean, you could pick up a 1066 gigabyte for like 120 USD, right? That was like the going rate, around 170, 180 Aussie. That's where they were going down to. That was like pretty decent price. Yeah, $150, that was about right. But after that, they've shot up now because the 6 gigabyte makes them profitable for mining. The 3 gigabyte GTX 1060s, I've been noticing a few of those on the market right now, and they've been coming in with a price point that I like. So that's one to consider. If you don't look, and this is one thing I've actually been polling people on Discord and friends. A lot of us guys, we just play popular multiplayer titles. Lately, I've been playing a 10-year-old game, well over 10 years old now. StarCraft 2, I think it's like 12 years old. And I've been enjoying it. Mainly because it's like on 4K and all that stuff. But I mean, you don't need a whole lot to game with. I mean, I know there's guys out there like, look, I need so much VRAM that I can run Crisis off the VRAM itself. And I know those people are out there. But I guess the majority of people, a 1063 gigabyte is going to serve you very well. Even Jar Jar would agree that a 1063 gigabyte at the right price is not a bad buy. So that's what I've been saying with going into this year. If you want to build a gaming PC, definitely go for the cards that are no longer profitable to be mined on. And so that's definitely the 1063 gigabyte. And the 4 gigabytes are moving into effect. They're coming into play. I was going to say they're coming into play and power. So we got question, Brian, in caps. I love it. Like, you got to get the caps on, man. Is it even possible to turn a profit in mining when you're running solar? Yeah, like of course, like I'm scratching my head with that question. Of course, if you're mining on solar, you're getting your power for free. That's even better. So like, that's a win-win. I think a lot of farms out there are using solar power, and they even got the batteries. So at nighttime, they've essentially got free power going through. Because with a lot of solar power, when you feed it back into the grid, you're not getting as much credit as you would if you were using it yourself. So it's much more profitable to get your solar power and then use all that power yourself instead of either buying it off the grid or sending it back into the grid. So yeah, we got some strange topics today. That's right. This is some strange topics. This is Strange Yes City today. We're going with a weird live stream, but is a 1078 gigabyte good nowadays? yeah, it's still okay. Like if you can get a 1078 gigabyte and for a decent price. I saw one in Australia going for around 280 Aussie dollars. That's not too bad. I can probably sell my RX 578 gigabyte for more than I bought it. Yeah, at the moment, if you guys can sell, if you think this, like I'm gonna tell you now, I don't think this whole crypto thing is gonna last forever. And last time we saw in 2018, it crashed big time. Once there's a big fallout, maybe if you look at GameStop, maybe that'll give you the trend of where crypto's going, right? Everyone's getting in. People have this fear of missing out. And they have that, like, there's this mass fear that enters the market. People think they're gonna miss out on, getting crypto. And the bottom line is that what are you actually getting? Always look at what you're actually getting. And so with me, when I look at crypto, I'm like, okay, how's it gonna help my life? First of all, I'm asking myself, how's crypto going to help my life? And at the moment, it doesn't help one bit. So there's things that I need for doing my job, camera gear, all that stuff. All this stuff helps my life. So I'm going to invest in that. When it comes to cryptocurrency, yeah, not helping me one bit. So I'm not really investing in it. I mean, and then as I said before, when we look at what banks, because the main use of cryptocurrency is definitely going to be the whole banking system. Easy peer-to-peer exchanges, making it lower cost, making it much more efficient, making everything lower in cost and much more efficient. And so if the banks are already developing their own cryptocurrency and they're keeping it private, then outside of that, you've got smart contracts on Ethereum. But it looks like Ethereum's becoming so expensive to put a smart contract on. Who knows? Where's this going to go? I just think it's gone up too much too quick. And when I see too much too quick, especially when you don't have wage growth, and this is a very important one, when we look at economics, we're going to have wage growth and inflation to support those higher prices. So you've got here a massive speculative bubble. That's just my opinion. So there you go. I'm just going to put that one out there. I'm waiting on the sidelines as well. I'm seeing a bit of fireworks here. So, yeah. Anyhow, we'll get back to the next topic because this one's, I don't actually have any articles for this next topic because this one's sort of breaking news. But we'll quickly jump over to a quick sponsor spot break here from Elgato. The microphone that I'm using right now, if you guys love the sound coming out of this thing, this is the Wave 3. You've got the quick mute function, so I can turn it back on the fly. I can mute the microphone, turn it back on. You can't even hear me. That's how cool this thing is. It's also got a pop filter built in, and you've also got the attenuation built in, so you'll never be able to clip, no matter how hard you're talking. Then we've got our favorite sponsor here at Tech City, bringing so many people happy, no activation messages, and this is SCD keys, bringing you that solid key. You can get here a 2-for-1, and that's cheaper. That makes it $11 a key. And use the coupon BFTYC in the description below. That's if you want to get legit Windows 10 Pro CD key. They got the single. If you need the double, grab the double. They're all cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. That's what we're all about, giving you guys the good stuff. Giving you guys the good stuff. Let's get back to it though. This one's breaking in that I'm hearing a lot of different reports. I'd love it if you guys in the comments gave us some of your feedback as well. This one is failure rates. Now, I've been hearing some stuff. I'm not going to name drop any companies or any like particular field because I don't want people getting upset. But I've been hearing this, and I'd love to get some statistics on this from you guys as well. But I've been hearing failure rates on things like motherboards, tech, other tech. The failure rates lately have been higher than they've ever been on a lot of tech coming through the pipeline. Now, I have heard from industry sources, this is a big one. I have heard from industry sources that a lot of companies are booked up for components. Say, for instance, we've got chokes going on graphics cards or whatnot. All these little components, the microchips going on motherboards, they're all booked up and selling out. That they're now, and a lot of these companies, right? If you go, say, I'm not going to name drop again. Say, for instance, we've got company X. They're booking up, say, 10,000 or 1 million microchips. And the other guys in the field, they want to get those microchips. They'll then say to the company, we need these microchips. We need to make motherboards. So then the companies are booked out. And what's up, guys? I read in the chat. We'll get this story done, then we'll move back over to chat. You guys are like, yo, chat. What's going on? Chat's going popping. But this one's big because what's happening now is a lot of these companies are selling essentially B-grade items. because there's so much demand for the components going in a lot of the tech, they're selling their B grade stuff and all the companies are still snapping it up because they've got to get products out the door. So say for instance, you've got a mean time before failure of 50,000 hours. They might be selling stuff that's B grade at 25,000 hours mean time before failure. But the thing is, it's inherently lower quality. So I don't know with you guys, but I've been hearing locally from a few retailers where I'm at that the failure rates on motherboards and things like that are starting to go up. They're higher. They're unusually higher than they've been. So I want to know from you guys, if you've been buying new parts quite regularly, have you been having problems with hardware lately? Like that's a bit abnormal. Because I've been noticing it too, man. Failure rates around Techie City as well. Failure rates of stuff has been a lot higher in the last 6 months too. That's in my personal observation as well. So things like RAM, all the way to motherboard. Had a faulty motherboard come through. Had some RAM, and I'm just finding these failure rates are going up. So do let us know in chat if you guys have been having some quality, QC issues. So we got a $5 dono here. Thanks for that, Pete the Welder. Just got a Red Devil 6800 XT, and I just learned the EK Waterblock Radeon Special Edition won't fit. Lol. I have to get a reference now. If you got that 6800 XT at retail, MSRP, you're gonna have no problems reselling it. That thing's like gold at the moment, so you'll be able to get your reference card. But yeah, the water block situation at the moment, especially if we look at the NVIDIA side of things, the water block situation is crazy because you've got them making water blocks for reference designs, and then the Founders card on NVIDIA side, the Founders Edition, isn't even a reference design. So you now got to look, if you're looking for a water block on an NVIDIA card, you got to be careful. If you've got the Founders Edition, you got to be careful that you don't get the reference block because it won't fit, and vice versa. So that's one thing going on with the water cooling blocks at the moment. So OG Yoji, I love your vids and Christopher Yee. Okay, so thanks. You love my vids, but you love Christopher Yee. How's that? Like, does Chris love you back? I mean, I love all you guys, but does Chris? That's one thing, and I've been saying this about Mr. Yee. I openly challenge him anytime. I can't wait to challenge him again. I want to challenge him again at the parts hunt because that's one of the. I look back in the history of the channel, and I look back with Chris, and that was one of the most fun. Like the funnest thing I ever did was one of the funnest competitions I ever did was when I was in the US, and we just hit the road together. And we had this competition to build the used PCs. That was one of my favorite memories. I don't know if it's like one of his good memories, but I absolutely loved it. I was just having fun, man, on the road in a place that I don't even know, looking on websites that I'm not used to. I think I was on Craigslist, and I found this RX. Man, was it 480? Found the RX 480, and then Yee was like sweating. I remember because he had to take me around because I didn't have a car. Yee's driving me to the deal and he's sweating in the car. So it was really good memories. Man, some of the competitions are awesome. Like, we got to get that going again. It's just the whole COVID thing is really making it tough. Oh, we have a $20 dono. Thank you, Nefarious Technology. I built 10 systems with returned motherboards and have had 0 issues with it. Okay. Also witnessed over 40 graphics cards over the last 2 months, no issues. Now the Radeon 7, that's another story. Most issues have been user related. Okay. You might have got the quality stuff on. You got lucky. Maybe you got the different bin. We got Gravy with a $1. Thanks for the dono, brother. The easy $1. And it's Aussie too. That the A means it's an Aussie dollar. But here's Jar Jar as well. Cheers to Jar Jar. Would you recommend secondhand water block? Ooh, pie. Would I recommend a secondhand water block? Depends. You've got to see that in person, right? I wouldn't buy a secondhand water block online unless there was some real high quality photos. Because what happens with secondhand water blocks is if the seals or whatever, if the thing's been run in bad conditions, it's much of a risk. So I consider it more of a risk. But if you can see it, if you know the person and you go meet them and they're like, look, this thing's been babied all its life. It's been taken really good care of. The secondhand water block can be a good buy. But for a lot of the used stuff I'm buying now, I'm actually checking it out before I get it. I actually got 2 good deals. We did the server PC. I hope you guys enjoyed that last video we did with the server PC. That one, that was interesting because I picked up a 1050 Ti. I got that for a good price. I think it was 120 Aussie. Then we got a GTX 1063 gigabyte for 140 Aussie. So I was happy with both those deals. So kind of looks like the whole market for used PCs right now is getting pretty cheap in Australia, because I think in Australia, a whole lot of people aren't mining crypto as much as they are in America. I think the whole crypto craze is definitely flowing through US like you wouldn't believe. But in Australia, it's still sort of, I think people got burnt from 2018. I know a lot of people personally who got burnt from the 2018 crypto mining phase, and they're like, I'm just going to sit back. We got Sebastian Lee with a $5 dono. Thank you, brother. I'm an employee that works in the capacitor industry. We are FUBAR. There we go. We are so backed up, and the amount of faulty components have skyrocketed. There we go. Thank you so much, Sebastian. That kind of plays into the rumors I've been hearing about. And I've been speaking to quite a few people. Again, not going to name drop. And yeah, you work in the industry. Don't name drop or anything. But that's kind of what we've been hearing about. Is that they're just booked, like the tech companies are booked through the roof for the components. And they've got to they've got to meet demand, right? I mean, any business wants to be profitable, right? And then but the thing is, it's not just the profitability side. A lot of the companies are like, look, we'll take anything you've got. So it doesn't really fall back on the component makers. They're kind of like, some of them would be like, okay, we got a quality standard to maintain here. And then they're like, but we need this stuff. We need to get products out. Say motherboard maker X. They need to get component. And so they're just getting, like, it's just absolute demand fest right now. And they're trying to keep up the supply. So never seen anything like this. And the thing is, you probably might not see something like this again in your lifetime. So we're living in interesting times here with the whole market. The market. Misha think the market is all messed up. That's right, Jar Jar. The market is messed up. So, okay. Have you thought about putting the server gaming PC in a desk to turn it into a desk PC? That is a good idea. That's a really good idea. I'd have to hollow out a desk or find one with maybe like the slide out or something. That's a pretty good idea with the server rig. I kind of want to put it upside down and then just stick it on the back, like just mass double-sided tape, get the server, stick it underneath the desk, and then leave it hanging there. You'd need some really good, I think you could do it with some good adhesive as well, silicon as well. That's how to make. Do you guys want to see that? How to make the easiest under desk gaming PC? Just grab a server rack, adhesive, slap it on the bottom. There we go. So we got mushrooms again. We got someone I'll let one of them go. We got the mushroom spamming again, man. What's with the mushroom spam? Man, we had the mushroom spam last time. The mushroom spam. So let's go. Yeah, RGB. Okay, we can put some. Okay, I'll make that a video. Okay, I will. You guys want it. We'll make a desk mount on a budget. That's what we'll do. So we got another question from the Gandalf. Do you think BTC will get to $200,000? That's what they were saying. Man, look, I never thought it'd get to $50,000. So this is what I'm finding, right? And that's why they're saying, like, in all the investment news, they're like, there's a detachment away from typical theory and what's going on, right? You're seeing things that otherwise you wouldn't expect to go up in value are going up in value. Like, for instance, I never thought Apple would be one of the biggest companies in the world, but here we are. Do I believe in Apple products? Not really. Like, I don't really. I mean, I understand why people like Apple, but I personally, I don't invest in Apple. I don't like Apple. Personally, that's just my opinion. I like using Android and desktop PCs much better. But, things that, honestly, this is one thing I've started to realize. Always follow the trends, even if you don't believe in them sometimes. If you see a trend breaking out, then don't be like ignorant to ignore it. We got here from Rylan Moonian from the South African Rand, 70 Rand. Thank you very much, brother. We got the South African Rand. I believe that would be maybe a $20 donation or something. Thank you. That's about, if I do my math correctly, because one thing I do, $50 donate. Damn, where'd you guys come in? Where'd you guys come from? All these big donations coming in from Corey Atkins. Thank you so much. I learned how to hunt parts and familiarize myself with platforms and chipsets, as well as troubleshooting issues through your channel. Working with the Xeons has been great. I have made a second income with all your knowledge. Thanks, Brian. You guys are so welcome. And that's why I love reading the story, because I noticed that like a lot of channels are going through difficult times. Other YouTube channels, man, they're doing it tough. But I think because we've made a community here And I don't mind sharing all these secrets, man. I come into a new secret, I'll be like, hey guys, here's a new tip. We're gonna be covering that Dell T3500 very soon. We'll do a dedicated video on that and how to set that up. Because at the end of the day, as long as I've got as long as I got my health, this is the thing, right? As long as I got my health, as long as I'm happy, and as long as I got a good income, which I'm gonna be honest, I got a decent income, especially when you guys are donating $50. As long as I got a decent income, it's I'm happy, man. I'm happy to share all this stuff. And that's what I think there should be, I think there's sometime in the world, sometimes you have to ask, is there a limit on greed? And I've seen firsthand what greed can do to people too. It can change them. So never let greed change you, but always be humble. And that's what I think. Take Your City, man. This is the humble city. You guys are going to get all the secrets. You guys are going to share. I'm going to share the secret sauce. That's what we're always going to do. We're always going to find the new metas. We're always going to share the secret sauce. We got here, I missed the $10. Nefarious Technology, thanks for the $10 donation. Linus has a video with a sick Lian Li dual PC desk. Would love to see how that thing could hold up a miner. And lol, as with everything, temperature and undersized power supplies are big issues. Supply limited BTC. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing I worry about with Bitcoin, and Linus's, the dual desk PC, I mean, that stuff costs a lot of money. I think it's out of reach for a lot of us people who are like, do I want to pay for a desk PC that's going to cost so much money? And so the donations are going huge. Where did you guys all come from, man? I'm looking at these donations and they're just like going through the roof. Thanks so much. This is crazy. I just got to get through all the donation questions. So supply limited BTC. Let's talk about that quickly, because this is the thing, right? You look at an asset. Any asset can be potentially, like, especially if it's not an essential asset, any asset can potentially become out of demand. So yes, the supply is limited, but again, the demand is the most important factor. Right now, the demand for Bitcoin is clearly there, but that could change. In the future, there could be like you look at the universe, for example, keeps expanding. There's new stars born and all that stuff, but then they predict that there'll be a phase where it's called the deep freeze. That could happen with Bitcoin, so be careful. Maybe the deep freeze could be around the corner. So you just don't know. Because at the moment, the reason why Bitcoin's so popular and so expensive is because there's all the demand coming from people converting their altcoins into Bitcoin. If Bitcoin does get circumvented in terms of a lot of exchanges and stuff, you could see the demand of the altcoins with more merit go up as opposed to Bitcoin. So that one's, do tread lightly. I mean, would I pay 50 grand for a Bitcoin? No. I mean, look, for 50 grand, I mean, you can almost get yourself like a townhouse, a place to live for 50 grand. It's insane. I think in some places in the US, you could buy a place to live with 50 grand, or you could have a Bitcoin. So, I mean, look, that Bitcoin could go up to 200 grand too. Who knows? So we got Ryan Munian. Thanks for the ZAR, the 140 ZAR donation. Thank you so much. I have an Aorus Master 3070 with temps that are around 45 to 50 degrees idle, which seems normal, but the backplate seems to always be a bit too hot to touch. Is this normal? Yes, that will be normal. Backplates do get very hot. They do get very hot, backplates. So if your backplate is getting extremely hot, don't worry about it. As long as you're monitoring your GPU temperatures, monitor your VRAM temperatures as well. That's another important one. But if your backplate's getting hot, it's nothing to worry about. If you're super worried about it, you can always put a fan on it, but backplates do get hot, nothing to worry about. We got here next up from All Skin Officials, Canadian, $5. Thank you for the loony. They call that, I think it's called the loony, the nickname. Thank you for 5 loonies. Hopefully it makes me a bit more loony. We got here, what about the Ryzen APUs to replace GPUs for now? I'm using 3200G and 2200G Ryzen to build basic gaming PCs at this time, watching you from Quebec, Canada. The APUs, we talked about this, the Ryzen APUs aren't going too far because they're limited by the DDR4, and even DDR5 is going to be a limitation and a bottleneck on APUs. That's why you haven't seen RDNA 2 and APUs yet, because they need the higher speed memory. So APUs aren't going to be getting that much better for a long time. So that's just my opinion on that. And of course, when you look at expensive memory, who's going to go out and buy an inexpensive APU and couple it with expensive memory? You'd rather just buy a dedicated GPU and couple it with cheaper memory on the CPU side. We got from Orgborg, $5. Thanks for the stream. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. We had here more, sorry, the questions they're piling up. Canadian, $5, another 5 loony. What's with the mushrooms? Yeah, I don't know. I got no idea what's with the mushrooms either. But thanks for the donation. We got here Sky Jinx, $5. Buy a pre-built, remove, replace GPU, and sell PC. I've been hearing this is a thing. I've been hearing a lot of people doing this lately. A lot of people have been buying pre-built PCs, taking the GPUs out of them, and then selling the rest of the system minus the GPU costs. Hey, whatever floats your boat. A man's got to do what a man's got to do, regardless of the economic times. And as long as you're not breaking the law, which you ain't, then that's fine. That's a smart idea. I know I have heard of a few people doing that. So, and then we got the last $2 donation from Ian O'Connor. Do-it-yourself perks did a in-desk PC. Yeah, okay, I'll have to check that out. I'm looking for the bang job. Like when we do a desk PC, thanks for the Russia donations too. I had to get through them all. Brian, you sound sick. I'm not sick, guys. I'm actually feeling great. Okay, sorry, but we'll talk about the desk PC. The desk PCs, the desk PC, right? This is the thing. I want to make one that takes no time. So we're going to get a desk, slap the thing on it, bang job, complete bang job, and then we got ourselves a desk gaming PC. And I think, I couldn't read the person's name. I think it's Russian, but they suggested we just do a budget desk PC with a server rack. And I agree, it's actually perfect. So there we go. We'll get back to, sorry if I missed your questions before, guys. Lots of chat rolling in. What's with the P-inspired music? I don't know, I've just got some background music going on. It's called lo-fi. It's called lo-fi, guys. I guess that's what people are doing with live streams. You're putting on a bit of lo-fi music, and then you're chatting. We're just relaxing. This is a relaxed stream. Even though I'm getting a bit tense with all this cryptocurrency stuff, it's meant to be a relaxed stream here today. Meant to be a relaxed stream. And that's one thing. Always make sure you're trying to minimize your stress. And like, I mean, look. Oh, we got Pa. Elder Pa. He's on the Discord. Awesome guy. He donates $2. He says, I have nothing to say, just wanted to say hi. Elder Pa, you're a legend, dude. You're a legend. So, and we got a question here. Groovy Brain. How is this mic versus an XLR? Honestly, we'll talk about microphones a little bit. The thing with microphones is I've stopped caring so much. I used to care about what mic you use, and I see a lot of live streams where they've got the whole microphone set up and they've got the fancy pop filter and they're like, yo, hat backwards, like they got this professional podcast going on. But I've realized with audio, as long as your viewers can hear you properly, then it doesn't matter. Like as long as you got good audio, then who cares? And that's what I've noticed with the Wave 3. This thing is reliable. And that's one thing I'm starting to look past. So XLR mic, sure, it's going to sound a lot better. But we're live streaming on YouTube. People just want to hear clear, good audio. And I think as long as your mic delivers that, I think you got nothing to worry about. Now, the scary thing with mics is that there's so many different types of mics in their frequency response curves. Because all a mic is a speaker in reverse, right? So just like speakers will have their own certain attributes, we'll have, and that's why you got reference speakers, right? In the world of audio, you got reference speakers, which are meant to be flat. Mics have their own sound profile. So if you get deep into it enough, you can start trialing out all these mics and seeing which one sounds better for your particular voice. That's how crazy it can get. But for me, I'm just like, okay, can my audience hear me? And honestly, I think this mic looks really good. Plus the other features of the auto attenuation, and it's also got volume control, on the fly mute, all that good stuff. So there it is. There's with mics. But yeah, the XLR mic should technically sound better, but it's much more hassle. Much more hassle. This one just plugs straight into your computer with a USB. Done. And I think that's what a lot of people, like me personally, I'm starting to get past all that. You know, I used to have the fancy microphone, but then my stream would not work properly. So now the stream's working properly. Jared Lee, thanks for the $5. I too have nothing important to say. You guys stop. You guys rolling, you guys donating me that crypto money. You're like, Brian, man, I just sold an Ethereum for $1,600. Here's a $5, bro. Thanks, dude, thanks. If you just sold your Bitcoin for $45,000 or whatever, you're balling. That's you can donate Tech Yes Cities. You can donate Tech Yes City and the Jar Jar mug some money. So that's we got here, bruh boy. Hey Brian, what do you really think for someone like me to pursue a career in PC flipping? Depends on the market, right? This is a good one. The PC market, where I'm at locally, is getting tight, man. I notice a lot of people are getting very competitive where I am locally. It's getting very tight. When the market's tight, it's hard to get into it. Last year, the market was just flowing. It was so easy to flip PCs last year. And depends on where you are in the world. I'm hearing reports from guys in the US. Guys in the US are having a great time flipping PCs still. So it depends where you are, depends if the market's hot. But just understand that the market is going to go through phases, especially something like the gaming PC market. So, and that's how you do it. So we got here from Skyjinx, LZ $2 donation. Thank you. What's the crosstalk audio app you use? So when we're doing motherboard reviews, right? Crosstalk, we'll quickly do an explanation for you guys that don't know what crosstalk is. That's the amount of audio that leaks from the right channel to the left channel. So the higher this is, the worse the sound's it's gonna sound almost like mono if you go up to, you know, near minus 10 level decibels. So you want this as low as possible when you got crosstalk, right? Left and right, get pure left and right channels. Now, what I use to measure the audio, what I use to measure the crosstalk is a program called, I haven't used it for a little while now. REW, it's called REW. So you can go download that, it's called REW. Now it's got a monitor there for your crosstalk, right? You got a monitor there for your left and right channels. And what you do with that is you then pull up a left and right speaker test. So you get a pure left and right speaker test that's only going to pump audio into the left channel, only going to pump audio into the right channel. Then you can monitor crosstalk from that. And all these methods, man, I don't know. That's what I do with Tech Air City, right? People ask, how did you learn all this stuff? Just trial and error, baby. And there's the thing. I remember my teachers telling me at school. They were telling me, they were so certain. They were like, Brian, you can never do the trial and error is just a bad way of doing things. And I'm scratching my head. I remember when I was in high school, I was like, it's working. Trial and error is clearly working. And my whole channel is basically trial and error. Built up on trial and error. You know, fail on a few live streams, eventually you're going to get it right. You get the formula right. So I absolutely love trial and error. I mean, of course, there's some situations where you can't do trial and error. When it comes to building a house, right? You can't exactly go, oh yeah, it looks kind of level, and then the whole house falls over. You're going to be up for astronomical amount of costs. But there are a lot of things in life that you can do with trial and error, and it can work very well. I mean, playing around with computer parts, what's the worst that's going to happen? You might, especially with used parts, you might lose a $2 stick of memory. So we got a $10 donation from the Witchmaster. Is that from Heroes in New Earth? I got a question for you, the Witchmaster. Is that from Heroes in New Earth? If it is, I used to play the Witchmaster. Anyway, hey Brian, what do you think about the 3080 Ti rumors only being 12 gigabytes of VRAM? Is that enough for high-end gaming at 4K 120 Hertz? 3090s are at 24 gigabytes of VRAM. Love your content, mate. Thank you so much for the donation. Let's check it out. Actually, I didn't even check that out. The rumors. Let's go over. We can check this out. What to mine? What to mine? If you guys want to make some of that easy money right now, just go get some laptops. Apparently, you got to go get some laptops and start mining. I wonder if they would warranty the laptops. I wonder if they would warranty laptops on the fact that you've been crypto mining 24/7 on them. Because the one bad thing about laptops is heat. 12 gigabytes. Let's have a look here. Okay. So this is a fresh leak. Man, that could be true. Hey, that could be true. That could be very true. Could be a 12 gigabyte card. I mean, just by looking at it, Notebook Check, actually, very good site. We got the last article from Notebook Check. These guys are on their game. I gotta give them credit on live stream, right? We'll give them credit on live stream. Let's give these guys some credit. Notebook Check. Thank you for not having a website that's just spam, absolutely spammed with ads everywhere, so you can't even read the article. This website is good, and the information is the articles are good, easy to read. Thank you for that. I got to just shout out on live stream here for the hassle-free experience while trying to look for some news. Okay, the new leak. It's now speculated to come with 12 gigabytes of GDDR6X. So pretty simple. I think it's the same CUDA cores as the 3090, but its memory bus has been dropped from 384-bit to 320. So it should perform very close to a 3090, but this rumor, man, I think this is going to carry weight because you don't want people not buying your 3090s. NVIDIA want you to buy a 3090. Here's the question I got to raise for you guys. What's the point in buying a 3090 if the 3080 Ti has the same amount of CUDA cores and has very similar amounts of VRAM? No one's going to buy a 3090 anymore. NVIDIA want you to go buy that $1,500 GPU. So I'm going to say that this 12 gigabytes of VRAM, I'd be saying this looks much more realistic than the 3080 with 20 gigabytes of VRAM. That's just what I'm going to say. And I just think, I looked at it in the past with the 3080 Ti, or whatever they were going to call it, it was like, it looked like it was too obvious that they released the news. Like Galax released the news and that was a fake. I think they faked it out. But to answer that other part of the question, is 12 gigabytes going to be enough for 4K gaming? Yes. I mean, a lot of the games are, like NVIDIA aren't stupid. When they put VRAM on a particular card, they're doing it for most people on most games. Sure, there might be an outlier there or a few outliers that do need more than 12 gigabytes of VRAM. Is that a thing? Is that like a real nitpick for you? Then go buy the AMD card with 16 or go buy the 3090. So, but for me personally, I would be happy. Like I'm happy with the 3080 10 gigabyte. It's like this might be an unpopular opinion, but the 10 gigabytes of VRAM has been absolutely fine. I haven't come into any problems except for Godfall, which was apparently deliberately made to have higher bit rates on the textures. Apparently, I'm not going to tell you where I heard that from, but apparently Godfall had a lot more. Then we got the donation here from Matthew O'Malley. Have you seen that recent Intel 4th Gen Dell Optiplex BIOS update that has made Xeon E3 12XX V3s compatible? Huge fan, bro. Thank you for the $5 donation. I haven't checked out that BIOS update yet, but that's really cool that they're actually going back. Or who did the BIOS update? Was it an independent or was it Dell themselves that did the BIOS update? Because that's actually really cool if they've gone back and now patched their older school stuff. That's actually like kudos to Dell if they did that themselves. And well, I don't know what's with the shrooms, guys. Like magic mushrooms. You guys are just spamming mushrooms. I can't, like, if you want to chat, I can't chat with mushrooms. I mean, what? Okay, guys, the mushroom, it goes in the PC, the mushroom. And then the mushroom will give you some terrible FPS. That is the mushroom. You get the mushroom. I don't know. What's up with the shrooms? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're living back in the Eminem song back in like 2000s. He's been to Magic Mountain or something, but nothing compares to these blue and purple, yellow. I don't know. Forgot the song. Cool, calm, just like my mom, with a couple of. And then they censored that bit inside her palm. I can't believe they censored all those old school songs. Hey Brian, Aussie here. Finding GPUs for a reasonable price is so hard. Would you recommend used GPUs? If so, how can I know how long it will last before its end of life? Yeah, that's a good question from me. Number. I was going to make a dedicated video on this because it is important to know that some people buying used used GPUs are going to get hosed. Those GPUs won't have that long life left in them, especially if they've been hardcore mined for years on a crypto bench. So that's one thing about, the shrooms, the shroom spammers. It's all right, guys. We'll still get some questions besides all the shrooms getting spammed. We'll still get some questions in there. I just on live stream, I don't have I can't really go, the stream will go crazy if I start deleting everyone on mushrooms. But apparently chat helps. Like the more you post mushrooms, the more my chat gets promoted anyway. So thank you guys indirectly. But yeah, back to the question. So the used GPUs, it's a tough situation, right? It's a tough situation where you've got to be careful on what you're buying. So I will be doing a used GPU buyer's guide very soon for you guys. It'll come this month. So wait for that. If you're very nervous about purchasing one, I'll have that guide coming out and you'll be able to make a good decision on that. So I hope that helps. We got here from Adam W. He's got a $5 dono. Thank you, brother. I have a 1080 Ti and I use up to 10 gigabytes at 4K. Are the 8 gigabyte cards enough at 4K on the new cards? Doesn't add up to me. Doesn't add up for me. So the 10 gigabyte was good for 4K. Like the 3080 was made for 4K. I think the GT, the RTX 3070 was more made for 1440p. So the 8 gigabytes is kind of getting there, but the 10 gigabytes was definitely made with 4K gaming in mind. So 12 gigabytes, I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be a good level. 10 gigabytes may not make the cut on some games, but even then you could probably just lower some of the settings and still get really good FPS at 4K. So I'm like, and if you go back through the history of my channel, the only reason I've cared about VRAM is more for sales than personal usage. VRAM hasn't really been a huge factor for me personally. And you can go back through any, and my tune hasn't changed because I use a lot of hardware, I play a lot of games. I'm not if you're a heavy modder, then definitely you're gonna want to invest in more VRAM because a lot of guys who mod their games need more VRAM. So it depends on how you like to play PC games. And that's a beautiful world of PC gaming. Beautiful thing about PC gaming is you can do so much different stuff. So now the people are spamming all the mushrooms, but they're getting held now, guys. It's too many mushrooms. You're getting held from spam. So there's no point. But yeah, so VRAM's one of those things where it's up to you personally if you want to do it or not. Like, do you need more VRAM? Yes or no? And judging by how many people play games on Steam, I'd say the ballpark falls in where the VRAM numbers currently are. So can you play Fortnite at 4K with 8 gigabytes of VRAM? Definitely. So you don't need any more. Now we got a donation here. Thank you, Nefarious Technologies. And in between all those mushroom spamming and stuff, I couldn't really read any questions. Like it's just weird. At least you guys get a good experience. It blocks out all the big spamming. So we got here the question. I argue a miner's card is in better shape after 3 years. Miners tend to underclock and undervolt a card and maintain their cards. Gamers push them hard. And that's another thing. Very good point from Nefarious. Very good point. And depends on the miner you're buying them off. Most miners nowadays, especially nowadays, are going to be very switched on to undervolting and underclocking. When people were initially GPU mining, they were just going weekend warrior, slapping those things on a bench, on a mining rig, and then just letting them go out of the box. Nowadays, a lot of crypto miners do optimize their cards. They do push the fans higher. They do undervolt the card and then raise the memory speeds a little bit. One thing you do have to be careful of though is the memory speeds, of course. I have seen cards that have degraded on their memory to the point where you can't use them for gaming anymore. So we will talk about that in the video, but that's a very good point, is that some of these mining cards, check them out. One thing you gotta do is just look, like grab the card sideways, look for the capacitors. That's the biggest telltale sign. If the caps are bulging on some of those cards, then yeah, and also look at the rust. Another thing as well, look at how much rust is on the cooler, because some of these coolers will have all this rust on them and you're like, what's going on here with this rust? And you're like, okay, should I buy this GPU or not? And I'd say, like, if it's heavy rust, definitely stay away from it. So there's a lot of things that I've seen with the used GPUs, and I'll share them all with you guys. But we got here from Orion, Apagippy. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong, dude. I was wondering if you had heard about Zen 1 CPUs killing RAM sticks. I've won killed 2 sets of RAM so far. It's forcing me to upgrade finally. Let's Google this. Okay. What is going on with chat now? People just spamming potatoes. Is that a potato? Like, yeah, it looks, I mean, potatoes are good. I like potatoes. Kind of mushrooms is like, you know, mushrooms, I'm not really vegan. I mean, potatoes are like vegan, but like potatoes are, you know, I eat them like almost every day. So mushrooms, I eat them maybe once every couple of weeks. So like, potatoes are good. I don't eat clowns, unfortunately. I can't find anything. I mean, I've never heard of RAM sticks dying from CPUs. Like CPUs killing RAM sticks is a weird one, dude. You might have a problem with your power supply or the mother, like I'd say the power supply most likely. So if something's getting killed off, it's probably the power supply. Be very careful with that. Or the motherboard itself has gone crazy and it's overvolting the RAM way too much. So be careful with that. Usually it falls in a part dying on a PC, especially if it's like a RAM stick, it usually has to do with overvolting, and then it reaches a point where it just snaps off. Like internally, something goes, and then it's not coming back again. So that's what's wrong with that. So we got here from Joshua Young, $4.99 donation. Thank you so much. If you had 700 USD, would you keep waiting for stock of a 3070 6800 or buy a scalp, a 3060 Ti, or buy overpriced used? Thanks, sir. Oh, that's a good question, because you're in the US, aren't you? You're in America, man. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Ugh. What do you do? I would honestly see if you can pre-order a 3060 Ti at a lower cost. If you want a game right now, if the scalping isn't too bad, like if you can maybe get a 3060 Ti for 450 US instead of 400, they're promised at 400, but if you're not paying too much extra for it, it's not bad. But oh man, that's a question. Like, it just sucks, right? I wouldn't recommend going out and paying the overpriced money, because you're feeding someone money in a system that is essentially corrupt. Like, I don't want to feed, like, I don't want to support that. And that's why I've been sort of like, I'm like, look, in the meantime, grab yourself a 1063 gigabyte for cheap and just wait it out at a 1080p monitor. Just wait it out, man. Don't give in to the scalp. You give in to the scalpers and you buy that 3060 Ti for $700, you're just basically saying that this is okay. So this is one thing about life as well. You see overpriced assets, just hold off and they'll eventually come back down again. So yeah, like, ban the bots. So hopefully, I think Par's a moderator. Hopefully we can get a mod in here to start banning all this stuff. So yeah, just like, I don't know what's up with like Sniper. I'm just going to put Sniper in a timeout, because Sniper's one of the guys who's like, I continually see that. Like, I'll put him in timeouts. There you go. You guys are getting a timeout. So with your peaches and mushrooms, I don't know what the... Why the Tech Yes City stream? Why are you guys targeting the Tech Yes City stream? I'm going, thanks for the $2 too. I'm working on getting rid of the bots so we can have a discussion. $10 from Orion Applegate. I thought the RAM dying was also a power supply problem or a MOBO problem, so I replaced both these with new RAM, and it still died in under a year and a half. Which RAM? Okay, so I'm going to ask you directly, which RAM was that? Because I have seen RAM sticks die as well. DDR4 RAM sticks will be good one day, and then the next day they degrade. And I have seen this with first gen Ryzen. I had some crucial 3200 megahertz memory, was running at 3200 megahertz XMP for about a month, and then it wouldn't work at 3200 megahertz XMP anymore. So try reset your BIOS, run it at 2133, but sometimes you can have degradation on the memory that makes it out of the factory, but it's so tight, like it's so finicky, that it just doesn't work anymore, especially with a first gen Ryzen. So be very careful with that. Time travel, Aussie dollars, $2 donation. Thank you so much for the donation. But let's get back to some normal. I'm just putting people in timeouts who are just spamming. Like, come on, guys, we want to have a discussion here in the chat. So let's get back to questions. Because you guys talk with each other in chat too. I love that. It's like a place where people can chat, hang out, spamming mushrooms and peaches and clown faces. Isn't that stuff for Twitch? Like, I go and check someone's Twitch stream out sometimes, and I just see like the chat is just constantly getting spammed. And it's like, I at least like to answer some questions. When are you starting? Tim Serious. When are you starting OnlyFans, bro? Oh man. So we got spam, and now we got. I'm not kind of into that, man. Like, I mean, if you want to see the Yes Man do that kind of thing, maybe when I retire. So maybe when I retire, okay? From YouTube, like doing tech. That might be my next gig, all right? But I'm not doing it while I'm doing tech. Because we want to keep things civil. And besides, I have, believe it or not, I have spoke to people in that industry. And you've got to be made for that industry. Honestly, you've got to be made for that industry. And I mean, like, there's things that I've heard with stories about those people that do that stuff. It's just like, yikes, you know what I mean? Anyway, Jared Lee, $5. Can we get a slow-mo or get some of the Discord as mods in here? Yeah, thanks for the $5 donation. I'm taking care of it anyway, so we've got it all. It's all returning back to normal. Anyone who's yeah, no slow mode. Like, I don't know, slow mode. It's pretty cool. It's civil now. So we got Corey Atkins, R9 290 and 290X. Lots of eBay deals in the US, $100. There you go. That's a nice card. That'll tide you over. Just make sure that R9 290X comes with kind of some warranty, even if it's the standard eBay warranty, because you do not want to be getting hosed on the GPU. So that one's not bad. That one's not bad. Is the Yes Man getting sick? So many people say I'm getting sick. I'm not, guys. I am not getting sick. I am not getting sick. Don't worry. I don't know. I think if we're on live chat, I don't know. I feel great. That's the second time someone said I look sick. Am I honestly do I sound sick? Damn. But maybe you mean, do I sound sick? As in like, do I sound sick as in like fully sick? Like this guy sounds mad, like awesome. If that's the kind of sick, let us know too. It's the mic bass frequency. Okay. Your voice sounds strained. I mean, yeah, I've been talking, me and Dadman have been chatting quite a bit this morning, so maybe my voice is just worn out a little bit. Jack Valadez, thanks for the $5. Just want to support, keep up the awesome content. Thank you so much for the donation. Sounds a little hoarse. Losing your voice. Yeah, maybe losing my voice. I don't think it's sick. I'm just, I'm losing my voice a little bit. That's all it is. So, it's just I've been talking to Dadman quite a bit this morning. We've just been chatting. We chat away. Sometimes we have like a mid lunch beer, especially on a Sunday, because it's Sunday, right? So we have a Sunday beer and we just chat. So that's what we've kind of been doing today. And now he's off doing his own thing. So yeah, we'll get back to some questions now. So Jokermate, I bought the 10400. Yeah, it's a good deal right now. Yeah, like 10400F, we've been talking about this in the last live stream. We talked about the Intel CPUs coming down in price to the point where it feels like Intel, we actually made a dedicated video on it too. Intel is like literally what AMD was, and now AMD's like the new Intel. They got the performance crown, then Intel's got the price performance crown. So don't forget to drink water. Don't worry guys, I'm drinking tea with Jar Jar. It might be also the cinnamon. I got cinnamon and honey mixed in with this Earl Grey tea. Like I'm going a little bit fancy here. I'm a big tea drinker. You're either a tea or a coffee drinker. You can be both, but you're usually one or the other. Heavy tea drinker here. Okay, so what's the stuff you spray on dead GPUs to bring them back? Mainly multi-purpose spray, aka WD-40. The stuff I use is very cheap. I get it down the discount store for $3 for a massive can. And that stuff is just like generic. Spray it on a lot of stuff. It cleans off dirt, debris, any filings. If you've got metal filings on PC parts, it can stop parts from working. And also if you've got thermal paste that's in weird spots and it's capacitive, can stop parts working. So that's the idea behind cleaning the parts, as well as making the card look like it's brandy new again, and preventing it from rust. There's a few reasons, but it's multi-purpose spray. So that's we've done a whole video on that too, with the Tech Yes cleaning method as well. So Earl Grey hot. Yeah, you guys are tea drinkers, or a beer drinker. Yeah, I mean you can't really drink beer all day around. If you're drinking beer like for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I'm pretty sure your liver's gonna clonk out on you, because you do processing all that alcohol. You kind of need a break. But anyway, Tim3 time travel, $5 donation, Aussie $5. Thank you so much. Should I get a Ryzen 5 2600 or an i5 9400F? I'm planning to upgrade and not sure what to get. I want the best price performance. What do you suggest? Ryzen 5 2600. You got the 6 cores, 12 threads. A lot of the 12 threads is becoming very relevant in 2021. The 9400F is just 6 cores, 6 threads. So if you had the choice between both of them and the same price, I would go for the 2600 in that sense. But keep in mind, I like the 3500X more than the 9400F and also the 2600, but that's gone up in price. So it all depends on the price. 3500X gives you that gaming now, but if you want to upgrade, then you've got the upgrade chance on B450. Ryzen's upgrade path is amazing. I do like what AMD's done there. We got Voodoo Child, $5 donation. Thank man. It's been a long time. How you been? I haven't seen your name in chat for a long time. My question is about that spray. WD-40 has a distinct mechanical smell, especially after it's heated. Does that stuff have the same smell? Yeah, multi-purpose spray doesn't have the WD-40 distinct smell, but it does have a different smell. So a lot of people hate the smell. That is one downside. Me personally, I actually kind of I like the smell. Like, not like, I don't like sniffing it like all the time. It's not like, I don't like sniffing that stuff all the time, but I do enjoy the smell of, it's not bad. It doesn't bother me. But yeah, if that one, that can hold you back. Definitely can hold you back. Hudson Jackson 2, the second. $10 donation, thank you so much. Oh wait, I lost that one. What would be the good stopgap GPU that's better than a 1050 Ti here in the States? I would like to pair it with a 2600. By the way, Nightbot could help with mod duties sometimes. From Discord, yes. It could definitely help. We'll get Nightbot on. But a good GPU better than 1050 Ti is the RX 470 or RX 570. And they should be cheap. The 4 gig models. The 4 gig models should be good. The 1063 gig model should be good too. And they're cheap. So they'll be good with the 2600 as well. GTX 980 as well. Don't underestimate a 980 too. 984 gig is pretty, like, I'm seeing them come up at pretty good prices lately too. We got here the LG CX55 OLED over at Costco for $13.49 and has 7 years warranty. Is it worth it? Yeah. That's just my opinion. You're asking me, like, look, I've said, like, I'll admit when I'm biased for things. I haven't been biased for much, like, tech in the past. But OLED, I'm very biased towards. So you asked me a question about OLED. It's like, Brian, should I mortgage my house and go get, like, 10 OLED TVs? Yeah. Yeah, go do it. I love OLED. OLED's absolutely... I'm using OLED right now. I'm doing the whole stream. I edit videos on OLED. I play games on OLED. I'm all OLED now. I've converted to OLED, and I'm not going back. But we got here Brad Winter, $4.99 donation. Cheers from Utah, USA. Subbed for over a year now as a used new system builder and love the content. What's your thoughts on NewEgg's new shuffle system? You guys, I have to go, let's check that out. What is the NewEgg shuffle system? Because I don't really use NewEgg that much. NewEgg shuffle system. What is the NewEgg shuffle system? Okay. Oh, I get it straight away. The NewEgg shuffle program. This is, thanks for the donation too. This is NewEgg shuffle program, right? So what they're saying is you get in with a draw. Like if you want a 3060 Ti at MSRP or around MSRP, you don't want to get scalped, you can go into a draw. Honestly, this is the only logical way to do things right now. It's like, you know, when you have a dispute when you're a kid, you know, your parents tell you, hey, just rock, scissors, paper it out. It's fair game, man. You leave it down to chance, right? And that's the only fair way to do things when there's too much demand and you want to keep a price ceiling on things as to not rip people off and keep up good customer relations. This looks really good. So yeah, NewEgg, good kudos, man. Kudos. Good stuff. The NewEgg shuffle. Then they can even start up one of those videos where they're doing the shuffle while they're dancing with one GPU and they got 10 people around them doing matrix maneuvers. And they've probably got a Jar Jar mug. If they had the GPU in one hand and the Jar Jar mug in the other hand and they started shuffling around, that'd be really good too. What background music was that? I'll just quickly show you guys. Here it is here. There it is there. You guys want to know what BGM is it? It's chill lo-fi hip hop beats free. That's why I like free, right? I got to use copyright free stuff. So there's that. We'll get back to chat now. I got to be careful when I do that because it kind of messes up the whole stream. So that's how we do things around Tech Yes City. We got the whole lo-fi beats going on. Okay, back to chat. Let's start right. So how long 3000 series GPUs is going to be here? Is it future-proof 3060 Ti? People still use 1030 GPUs these days. Man, if you're using a 1030, like there's so many better options out there than a 1030. GT, not even a GTX. GT 1030 is just like, man, I've tried to play games on it and I can't. Like I'd rather a 750 Ti any day of the week. 1030 is a real weak card, especially if have you guys ever tried the DDR4 version of that? It is so bad. It's not funny. It's so bad, the GT 1030. So to answer that question, okay, so how long until they're going to be here, man? They're meant to be coming into stock this month, but I think because of the crypto demand and the surge in crypto mining, again, the February estimate is now like, it's gotten worse, guys, easy. Because crypto miners, like as soon as they come up in MSRP, these crypto mining folks, they're just buying them up. Crypto miners are just like, yo, I want a GPU and I want to start making money off that GPU. So they're just buying up all the GPUs and we can't get our hands on one. So that's it. That's it. That's what I was saying. Like, that's why I was disappointed with Intel. Like people saying like the Intel market share. I was like, I was disappointed with Intel that they didn't deliver on the DG1. All it had to be was like a GTX 1050 and it would have been pretty good. That's all it had to be. Then again, crypto miners might have bought it up. But no, if it stayed at 4 gigabytes of VRAM, it would have been a solid card. So I think right now we need AMD or NVIDIA to start producing 4 gigabyte cards for the masses on the low end that crypto miners aren't going to keep snapping up. So that's it. That's what we need right now. We need it. Gamers, we need it. I was going to go crazy right then. Eth is fire right now. Yeah, even if you just, yeah, that's what I mean. Profitability is through the roof. And I can't blame the crypto miners. Even if you've got a gaming PC, especially if you're not paying for the power where you are, just start mining. You probably make, like, if you've got like a 3060 Ti in your rig, you could probably make like $10 a day or $6 a day or something, just leaving that thing on. So you like go out with your friends. $6 of your partying's paid for by someone buying an overpriced Ethereum coin. There you go. So this is the stupid thing about mining. It's like it's too profitable. Yeah, blame them. And that's it. Drinking milk. That's it. I'm blaming the money printers. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. So when they just keep printing money, they need to do something better than just handing money out. Like, sure, hand out money to people that need it, but why are they handing out all these cheap loans to all these institutions that are then just dropping it into assets? So what you've got right now, as I'll show you guys, this is what the world's suffering from right now. We'll go over it's suffering from this. Here you go. Here you go, right here. This is what you want to know, the world. Stagflation. There we go. This is what's happening. 2021. You got pretty bad economic conditions. You got certain economic classes not doing well, but then you've got all these asset prices going up. Stagflation. There we go. That's what's going on right now. Because their solutions are like, hey, print the money. Stonks. Print the money. Get them stonks. Get them cryptocurrencies. So you just get like stagflation, man. This is the first time I think we're going to actually see it properly in first world countries, because that's what's going on. Look at this guy. There's no use crying about it. Yeah, hey, I should stop crying about it. Just profit from it. Bingo. This guy gets it. Money doesn't. One thing about money is it doesn't care about feelings. That's for sure. Money does not care about feelings. Man. Yeah, so that's it in chat. Yeah, I majored in marketing and finance. I did economics, macroeconomics, as well as there was another one that was insane. Some of the subjects I took at uni is funny because a lot of that stuff, like I look at the theories and I'm like, man, a lot of that stuff's still relevant. A lot of the stuff that I learned 20 years ago at uni, like 15 years ago, a lot of it's still relevant. Why your tech streams converts into stonks? Because people, like, it's all related, actually. It's all related. Stonks at the moment, stonks, Ethereum, and GPUs, it's all tied in together. Believe it or not, it's all tied in together. So stonks, crypto mining, and that's what I mean. So how old am I now? I'm 35 years old. I'm in my mid-30s. Mid-tier. I'm a mid-tier GPU. So if you were to compare me to a graphics card, I'd like to think of myself as like a 3060 Ti right now. You know, I'm still efficient. I still got the power, but I'm not pushing at RTX 3090 levels. So I'm running at a 3060 Ti efficiency. And Brandon, he says he's a 3090. He's a 3090. Did you chaos theory? I love chaos. Oh man, what was chaos theory again? We'll check out what chaos theory was. That actually is a... Yeah, chaos theory. Man, I remember we did a piece on this, but I never really paid much attention to it. There's so many good theories out there that I love. I have to research that one again. I have to research chaos theory again, but I'm not too familiar with it. So we got A-Man, he's 37. He feels like a 2080 Ti. I'm 27. I feel like a 3070. That's it. That's it. Relate your graphics card. Like, What do you relate to in chat? Relate yourself with your age and what you relate to as a graphics card. Do we have anyone out there that relates to a GT 1010? Is someone like, look, Brian, I've only managed in life to just get to a GT 1010 level. Is there any GT 1010s out there? You're still new. The good thing is you're still new. So you look at the perks of a GT 1010. You're small. You can weasel your way through. Feeling like a GT 240. Damn. Okay. What graphics card do you relate to? I'm an 8800 GTS and a 3090 body. Oh, damn. I'm actually going to put that on my Twitter profile now. You guys can start calling me a 3060 Ti. Don't call me he or him anymore. Just call me a 3060 Ti. Yeah, this 3060 Ti, that 3060 Ti did an amazing job today out there, building that PC. Oh man, where eventually it's just funny. Live streams, I think all conversations eventually they just go down to some weird denominator, and you know what? I absolutely love it. Oh man. So yeah, chat's always awesome. We'd like to keep it, join the Discord too. Join our Discord. We've also got really cool down to earth peeps there. That's one thing about my channel and we're always going to keep it real for you guys. If you want to go bang your chest and be a big hero, just head over to some other channel, man. Go in their chat, go bang your chest and be a big hero. But all the boys on Tech Yes City, man, we're all good. We're all chill. Everyone respects everyone's opinions, and that's all. There's one saying that I always live by, man. You're better than no man, lesser than none, and never forget that. That's one thing that I always follow. So it means like whenever you do something, don't think you're better than everyone, and whenever you do something too, don't think you're lesser than someone. So just that if you live by that motto, man, you're gonna have a good life, So that's the motto we got, man. Feeling the vibes in the chat. We're feeling the love. Feeling the love right here. Anyway, we've been going for a while now. This stream's been going for heaps. I'm actually getting a little bit hungry, so I got to start cooking dinner soon. So I'll put also the Discord link. I'll put that in the chat for you guys. I'll pin the comment for Discord link as well as the timetable. But we'll start winding this one down. I think we've exhausted all the hot topics, all the news. You guys have asked everything you've needed to ask, which is good. Okay, so the Abman's Productions on my side. We'll answer a few more questions, then we'll get out of here. On my side of the world, shops force you to buy an Ampere GPU with a complete build. You can't buy them alone. Isn't it some kind of, that's what's been going on in a lot of parts of the world, right? Because they want to sell all the other hardware. They want to make profit, and they're using the RTX cards. They know the appeal of the new RTX 3000 series cards. They're using that appeal to sell the PCs. And I don't know, that's where NVIDIA and also the distributors have to come in and say, you can't do that. But the thing is, a lot of the distributors are down with that because they're able to sell their motherboards, their SSDs, they're able to sell everything. And in fact, I'd say it's more on the distributors than the retailers, because the distries, I've heard some distributors are forcing you to buy 10 motherboards for one RTX 3000 series card. There's so much crap going on that, I don't think NVIDIA would have predicted it would have been this bad, right? They would have heard a case here and there, but there's so many people price gouging now. It's just it's been crazy. So Nefarious Technology, new sub, been interesting watching you. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you guys for tuning in. Always love it when you tune in. When will the Bogan return, bro? Well, if you want to see the Bogan come back in the parts hunt, I'll make sure we do that. So with the parts hunt, what I've been doing lately with the used parts hunt is we've been going macro, right? I've been buying so much stuff. I want to kind of scale it back to more small time, one-time snipes. And then we'll put the Bogan in there to try and get those deals. If you guys want to see that happen in the next parts hunt, I can make that happen. The best GPU to buy for around $125 to $160 USD. Again, it's your classical, but it's your RX 470 or RX 570, even though the price has gone up. Also check out the GTX 980, especially if it's a good model. I got some Asus Strixes and they're pretty solid, man. They're solid. I bought 1 kilogram of gold. how did you afford a kilo of gold, man? That's insane. If you hold that, sure, man. Gold's tied to inflation. Gold's a good asset to buy if you're scared about governments and their handling of money. Gold's always going to be gold. It's got real world principles. So if you think it's one of the safest investments, gold has always been one of the safest investments. Some people even say above that of bonds. So for instance, if you're in Colombia, let's just give an example. If you're in Colombia and you invested in gold, that's a gold investment, right? Because if you invested in Colombian bonds, I think the Colombian government's gone broke at one stage. So there it is. It's one of the safest investments, that's all. That's all I'm going to say. Cheers from Colombia, exactly. See, geek, if you're in Colombia, you might want to invest in gold. And so that's why gold's always going to be there, because it's an asset that people can buy and own physically. And they know it's always going to retain its value. It's a rare metal. Also, platinum right now, apparently the prices with platinum and gold are desynced. So you might want to check out owning some platinum. Platinum might come into a play. Is Synex doing that dodgy selling of GPUs, Brian? I can't name it on live stream. I cannot say that because I don't want no one slapping a suit on my desk. You know what I mean? So I can only say, okay, there's alleged companies that have been doing this allegedly, and is Synex doing it? You know, that's up for your interpretation. But see, I need hard evidence to be able to say, look, here's what's going on here. But I have heard from the grapevine that the distributors are doing some dodgy stuff. So, I own physical gold. There you go. So you guys are there. We started the gold cartel. We're talking about gold all the time. So diamonds, why do they cost so much? Diamonds are the rarest. Aren't they the hardest material on Earth? Like the hardest atom? Diamonds or whatever, they're made of the hardest atoms on Earth. So if you got diamonds, the real applications for diamonds are like diamond bladed saws, right? Diamonds actually do have some industrial applications. And the reason it's such a tough material. So diamond's always going to be in demand. Plus it's the rarity. If you catch a diamond that's big and thing, and you know, it's going to be amazing. Anyway, we're going way off tech now. We're talking about diamonds, gold, and rare earth metals, and yeah, silver. You know, silver's got speculation running into it. Basically, guys, careful with your investments, right? I'm going to say before we close out the stream, I will say I'm seeing a lot of talk about stonks, cryptocurrency, rare metals. Be careful about investing in these things. And I do say this, you've heard the age-old saying, only invest what you can afford to lose. But this time around, do not buy in because everyone else is buying in. That's all I'm going to say. Trust me when I say things can change so quickly, so fast that you don't see it coming. Just like you didn't see your fear of missing out on getting that asset coming, right? If you knew that Ethereum was going to go up to 2,200 Aussie dollars or 1,600 US, would have you bought that in March last year? Yes, you would have, right? But no one has a crystal ball. No one knows what's around the corner. So it's all risk. And are you going to risk it now after all that influx of money into these particular assets? Are you going to risk the potential losses? Because it can go down just as quickly as it went up. So my advice would be very careful with your investments. Always do your own research. And I always say that for anything you do, before you go buy something and it's a serious purchase, are you going to lose sleep if you lost all that money tomorrow? Right? I go out and get hosed on a $50 GPU. I'm not going to lose sleep on that. That happens a couple of times a year. I don't care. Just some douchebag ripping me off. But if it comes to, like, say for instance, I'm buying something for $1,000, I'm going to do a lot of research. I'm going to look at all the downsides, look at all the upsides, and then I'm going to read all the different people's opinions, because opinions are going to be very biased. So you're going to sift through, you're going to get it. Basically, if this is the one thing about statistics, and the beautiful thing, before we close this off, beautiful thing about statistics is aggregate the opinions, aggregate opinions. So you're going to get heaps of different opinions. And then you're going to see, okay, here's all the people saying these are the positives and they've used the product themselves. Don't listen to parrots either. If you listen to parrots, you're going to lose money. And then look at all the people who have used it and here's the negative comments. Aggregate that and then you'll be able to see what the benefits and the negatives really are. So always use statistics, always use averaging out as one good tool in your arsenal. And that's the same with me. I'm just another opinion. So in the world, see, we start going down this path of tangents, and it gets pretty crazy. But anyway, we'll answer. Oh man, you guys start up the questions again right before I'm ready to start making some dinner. We're gonna cook a lasagna. We're gonna have a lasagna tonight. A lasagna. I love my lasagna. Lasagna. Okay, so I'm mining on my 2070 laptop right now. Oh damn. Keeping me alive. Keeping me alive here. You 20 crypto mining on a laptop. What's this sorcery? Yeah, we were talking about that before. We're looking at Chaos Series. So this was the story here. I'll link this story in the description. Yeah, crypto mining on a laptop if you missed the stream. $5 from One Nightmare Gamer. Thanks for the donation, brother. Only way to fix stocks is force people in store only purchase for a few months, basically making HOTS useless and people with tons of free time able to fly to store. Yeah, I mean, the way to fix the stock is to limit it. Yeah, one per person in store is definitely going to drain big institutions out. See, the problem with the GPU mining is the big institutions are buying up cards. They're buying up 1,000 at a time, sometimes even more. So you limit those institutions buying those cards, it's going to make it very tough for them to keep doing that. You know, every day, if one person had to walk in and buy a card to get 1,000 cards, that's 1,000 days. So yeah, there needs to be some kind of limits in place, and they're doing that. Some of these places are doing that, and kudos to that. Like in Australia, there's one GPU per person. I think, like if we look at this, if we go to this site right here, there's a 1 GPU per person. And lasagna, if you love lasagna, go at it in the comments. Let me know your love for lasagna. Look, I'll put a love heart in the chat too. I was going to put a love heart for search on the PC parts. Actually, let's quickly do that too. If your love for lasagna is there, we'll put a love heart in here and see what comes up. Oh wow, that actually did work. Okay. We'll look at an RTX 3060 Ti. And let's see what's in. This is in Australia prices. If you're freaking out at the prices, this is Aussie dollar prices. It's kind of like normal. Okay, none in stock. Well, damn, that was a stupid example, wasn't it? Do we have a 3070 in stock? Oh, here we go. We got some 3070s in stock. Wow. Let's have a look here. What's the cheapest 3070 we can get in Australia right now? That's in stock. That's in stonk. Okay. 1,049 Aussie dollars. Damn, that's expensive. Still, it's still pretty. All right, just give you guys an idea of how much that is. 805 US dollars at the moment. At the moment, that's how much it costs to get a 3070. That's the cheapest in stock. Limit 1 per customer. There it is right there. That's the limit. So in Australia, they're limiting people from hoarding these, buying them all up. And the Galax cards are usually coming in. Like these cards should be around 850 at best, man. These cards should be around maybe even 800 Aussie dollars. That's how much they should be. But the retailers know that they're in hot demand. They know people are buying them up. They know the money printers are, they're just rolling the cash out. So this is where you're seeing the demand for all this stuff just go through the roof. And the price is essentially going to follow that. So here we had a 500 USD card now costing 800 USD in Australia. Now we see some of these other cards here. This is like, I remember seeing some of these at 800 Aussie dollars. So there you go there. That's a limit of 1 per customer. That's that. So I don't know how to get a $5 donation from One Nightmare Gamer. Thanks again, dude. Thanks again. I don't know how to get a 6800 because I'm using a 7990. Okay. And a 290X for VR resolution at 58%. I need fast cash and I need fast cash as well, bro. Had to pop that joke in there. And 4.0 VR chat is hard to run at 100% res. So you need that 6800, the RX 6800 for your V8 chat. I have seen a few for sale, but I mean, at these prices, 1 to 2 days. Okay, there's one here for 1 to 2 days, and that's kind of like, isn't that? That's the same as the 30. That's the same as the 3070, even worse, I think, in relative pricing. Let's have a look. $1,000 US in Australia. 1,000 US is the cheapest you can get an RX 6800 for it. And this is one of those stores that's been pretty good with prices. Like Umart in Australia are pretty good for prices. Isn't that sad? 1,000 USD for an RX 6800. Weren't they meant to be 580 USD? And even then, the 6800 XT was like the better pick because it was $70 more. Oh, this is giving me a headache. Look, the last thing we're going to talk about, the last thing before I get on out of here, the last thing we're going to talk about is I'm going to put some of the blame on this whole COVID situation. It's like, man, until people are able to fly internationally and do normal things again, then we're forced to buy this stuff because this is our only form of entertainment. It's like the checkmate that you didn't want to, it's like you seeing it's like you're already having a bad day. And then if you lose this game of chess, you're going to, like, you've made a bet for, like, say for instance, half your mortgage. If you lose this bet, you're going to be down in the dumps for a long time. And then you're just seeing the opponent checkmate you slowly. You're like, oh God, this checkmate's coming in 5 moves. Oh God. And it's happening. You can't do anything. So you're like prolonging the chessboard as much as you can. You're like moving the pieces really slowly to try and prolong it. And that's what's going on at the moment. That's what's happening with these GPUs and their prices right now. 1,000 USD. Let's pull that up again. Actually, let's pull that up again. In Australia, 1,000 USD for the cheapest RX 6800. We can even check static ice. And thanks for another $2, bro. You're feeding me right now. I want to show video of how hard it is to run. Be right back. You have to show. I can't pull that up on stream, man. That'd be like weird as. I don't know how I'd do that, but I might be able to. I mean, if you got a YouTube link, sure, we can show the viewers how hard it is to run. Joshua 40. Is that Korean won? Thanks for the 40 Korean won. I think that's Korean won. If so, thanks. Yeah, I got to go back to South Korea again. I got to go back to South Korea. I loved it there, man. That was like, South Korea was like the modern day journey of a monk. If you guys have ever been to South Korea, you'll know, like, you go into South Korea feeling a little unhealthy, feeling a little tired and run down, then you come out of South Korea feeling like a new man. That's what happened after I went to South Korea. Yeah, I miss traveling so much, especially doing these parts hunts on the road. Okay, what do we got here? The cheapest one we can find is out of stock. So the cheapest 6800 is out of stock. So that's just bait. So in Australia, they've just got all these, like, what about PC case gear? Do they have this in stock? Sold out. So you're just getting baited. Whatever you do, you're getting baited on these. So even the cheapest price you could have picked an RX 6800 up for. The cheapest you could have picked one up for was 730 US. Minus 10% tax, sure, but it's still well above MSRP. So, like, that's the cheapest you could have picked one up for. That's in the win now. So there it is. Hashtag forbid mining. Hashtag forbid the money printers. Hashtag stop printing so much damn money. That's what we need a hashtag for. Anyway, more fiscal responsibility, please, governments. Oh, we got to get the banks. Oh, we got to get the big banks through this one. We got to get the big banks through this financial downer. We got to get all the hedge funds through this one, guys. Oh, look at the hedge funds. They only made like 100 million this year. That's terribly low. We got to get them up to 300 million profit, guys. Oh, they're doing it tough, the hedge funds. Just keep the money printer going. Anyway, I'm going to go back. I'm going to start cooking up this lasagna, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. But we're starting, like, this laptop news, closing out this stream, this laptop news was kind of like a downer because mining on laptops and, like, buying up laptops to make profit on. There's something going wrong with the world when you see this happen. Like, look, the crypto mining on gaming graphics cards, sure, but buying a whole laptop now to mine cryptocurrencies is taking it to another level now. It's just getting beyond a joke. So, like, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, guys, we're gonna leave this stream on a high note, though. And I'm not talking about anyway. We're gonna leave this stream on a high note with just Jar Jar, regular Jar Jar. And I'll catch you guys in another tech video very soon. So thanks y'all for tuning in. I love each and every one of you. Let's keep the chat a little more civil. So I mean, at one stage in this chat, we were just getting mushrooms and clown faces and stuff. I had to give them time out, but next time we'll have the mods out in full force. So anyhow, you guys let us know in the comments as well. Make sure on the way out, make sure to hit that like button. Let us know on the way out in the comments too, what your thoughts about all this crypto situation, mining on laptops. Love reading your thoughts and opinions, and stay tuned for some of the, thanks for the content ideas as well. Stay tuned for some of the content ideas. New video should be up tomorrow as well. I'll get a video out tomorrow. We're gonna make a GTX 980 PC with the Ryzen 3 3100, and we're gonna see how that performs. So stay tuned for that. It's gonna be a nice, because I think GTX 980 is actually pretty relevant. Nice card to buy. Just make sure you get a good one. But yeah, I'll catch you guys. I'm gonna love you and leave you. I'm going to put a love heart in the chat as well. This has been an awesome stream. Thanks all for the donations as well. You guys really appreciate everything you guys do for me. And I'm going to send that love back with all the requests. And sorry about my voice as well. But I'll catch you next time. Peace out for now. Bye.